Hi everyone, GOP Tax Bill here, the internet's busiest music nerd. So stupid. And it's time for us to continue our 2017 List Week video series, where I go over some of the best and worst music of the year. In this video, in my opinion, these are the top 50 singles of 2017. I'm going to roll through the first half of this list, not give too much detail, but then after I pass the 25th spot, I'll talk a little bit more about each track that stuck out to me that I thought was special, what made it special. Let's go! At number 50, we have Kimbra with Top of the World, and at number 49, Young Lean with Red Bottom Sky. At number 48, it's The Killers with Run for Cover! It's a really punchy, fun song. And following that up, over at number 47, it's Kesha with Praying. At number 46, it is Juicy J with Flood Watch, one of the most fun pop rap songs I've heard this year. And after that, at 45, we have Mr. Playboi Carti with in New York, I merely rock. The song Magnolia at number 44, one of the biggest and hugest and most undeniable and inescapable songs of the year. It's Cardi B with Bodak Yellow. At number 43, it is Fleet Foxes with 3rd of May. And after that, at 42, Ski Mask, the Slump God, with one of the craziest and most insane tracks that he's dropped this year. Amazing flow on this track, Catch Me Outside. At number 41, it is Kalela with Waiting. At 40, it is Charlie XCX with Boys. At number 39, we have Feist with Pleasure, and at 38, it is Always with Plimsoll Punks. At number 37, Roger Waters returns with an amazingly powerful and political track, Deja Vu. At 36, it's Lil Pump with Gucci Gang, 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 Gucci Gang. At number 35, it's Rhapsody featuring Kendrick and Lance on her new track. A really good collaboration, amazing energy, fantastic beat. Good flows, thoughtful lyrics. At 34, Proto Martyr with Don't Go to Anastasia. At number 33, it is Vince Staples with Big Fish. 32, St. Vincent with Pills. At number 31, it's Big Crit, who is Keeping the Devil Off. At number 30, it is the chillingly beautiful single from EBE featuring Kamasi Washington, Deathless. NERD with Lemon featuring Rihanna is at number 29. At number 28, it is Lou the Human, one of the most interesting up-and-comers in rap right now with his single Macklemore. At 27, it is Ibibio Sound Machine with The Pot Is on Fire. And at number 26, we have the Mountain Goats with Rain in Soho from their latest album, Goths. Let's move into a bit more detail, a little bit more passion here with the top 25 singles of the year. Let's start at number 25. One of the most enigmatic electronic producers out right now drops the song White Gum. I'm talking about Igloo Ghost from his latest record, Neo Wax Bloom. Jittery, fun, insane production on this thing. So much color, kaleidoscopic, intense energy. Love what he's bringing to the table and excited to see what he's going to be doing in the future. At number 24, Sophie reinvents herself with a new, beautiful, expansive, passionate art pop ballad, simply not just producing weird, quirky bubblegum bass under the Sophie name anymore. And I'm really excited to sort of see where this vocally led production and style of pop music sort of takes her down the road. I think 2018 is going to be a year where Sophie really kind of leaves a mark, especially if she's delivering material like this. At number 23, we have SZA singing her sultry and very sexy song of being that side chick on The Weeknd. A great R&B cut among some of the best of this year. At number 22, Ariel Pink dips his toes into the pool of dream pop a little bit on Feels Like Heaven. Kind of going back to his more lo-fi and nostalgic sound on this new record of his. Really enjoy the tune, really enjoy the aesthetic. As far as underground, experimental, and quirky pop music goes, Ariel Pink very much still has it. And at number 21, one of my favorite mainstream chart-topping pop rap songs of the year. I couldn't really deny it. It's Post Malone's Rockstar featuring 21 Savage. There are so many tracks in the past that Post Malone has dropped that I just have not cared for at all. As you guys remember, I did a not good on his big breakout record. But for whatever reason, this track just sticks with me. Love his vocal melody on this thing, love 21 Savage's contribution to the track, love the instrumental. It's just a really cold-blooded, melodic, fun, catchy song. Just really am enamored with it. And hopefully Post Malone grows from here. Would love to see him come out with more tracks at this quality level. At number 20, Paramore matures and expands into the realm of pop music with Hard Times. Love the disco grooves on this track, the smooth synthesizers. Hayley Williams kills it as the lead vocalist, as usual, but you know, just new foray, new sound, new aesthetic that I'm enjoying so much more, and hoping that the band kind of sticks with this going forward. At number 19, MGMT experiments a little with some kind of alternative, weird, dark, almost gothic sounds on Little Dark Age. One of their better tunes that I've heard in a while, and I don't know, it seems like most people are pretty impressed and excited for what MGMT has to offer on this new album of theirs, and I am too. It's been a long time since MGMT has really kind of hit it out of the park. At number 18, it is the beautiful and gorgeous Slip Away from Perfume Genius, one of the most lavish and beautiful art pop tunes that I've heard this year. At number 17, Mama Told Me Not to Sell Work, Migos t-shirt, my favorite single off of their new album, Culture. Yes, even better than Bad and Bougie. As popular and as viral as that song is, and it's technically not a 2017 single anyway, even though it was a huge song this year, but still, t-shirt for me, amazing song, great flows, super sticky chorus, everything fantastic about the Migos sound condensed into one very chill, laid back, and instantaneously memorable track. At number 16, we have grinding, brutal, and aggressive post-punk music coming from the band Idols on the song Mother. Some very socially charged lyrics on this track too, dealing mostly in gender politics, as well as one of the catchiest punk songs that I've heard this year. At number 15, gotta give it to my girl, Poppy, with My Computer Boy. Not only is this really great, fun, bubblegum pop music, but I just love the lyrics, love the very electronic beat, love the quirky production, love the funny lyrics kind of dealing in love and romance in the internet age. Ever since I've been hearing a few artists here and there kind of deal in that topic, it seems like the floodgates are finally opening, which I think is a great topic. I think it's a cool thing for art and music to explore, because thanks to the internet, the battlefield of love has really just kind of changed in a lot of ways, and it's interesting to see artists write songs about that, interact with the way that technology has affected love, or kind of find new ways to attack the topic of love using the information age. At number 14, it is Tyler, the Creator's very beautiful, lavish single with Rex Orange County, Find Some Time to do something. Of course, if you couldn't recognize that from my horrible singing voice, that is the song Boredom. Loving the jazzy, dreamy, very pretty direction Tyler took a lot of the songs on his new album Flower Boy in, especially this track over here, which is why it had to make it on this list. At number 13, it's one of the most beautiful and personal ballads that Lorde has ever laid to tape. Of course, it is Liability. Great spare piano instrumental in the background. Her vocal performance is really impressive. Love how she sort of attacks the topic of love in the limelight in the lyrics here too. All around great song, one of her best, and looking forward to seeing her mature even more as a songwriter down the road. At number 12, it is one of the most fiery and exciting and experimental punk songs that I've heard all year. HMLTDs, or Happy Meal Limiteds as they are, I guess, were formerly known. The song To the Door. There's so many things going on in this track, like the driving groove, the weird kind of spaghetti western guitars, the almost like trap influenced electronic breakdown in the midst of the song, off the wall, insane lead vocals, just full of vibrance and energy. At number 11, shout out to my dude Open Mike Eagle for his song 95 Radios off of his latest record, Brick Body Kids Still Daydream. Beautiful, personal album going back into Open Mike Eagle's past, and this song brings the LP into a very beautiful, introspective, and nostalgic moment on the album in the second half. Love the chimey keyboards on the track, love Open Mike Eagle singing on this track too, one of his best vocal performances, even if it is very low-key. Open Mike Eagle continues to approach these fusions of hip-hop, of pop music in a way that no other artist does, and I feel like he only grows bolder and more distinct with each release, and songs like this are proof of that. At number 10, we're in the top 10 now. My dude's in Injury Reserve with the song See You Sweat from their new EP, Drive It Like It's Stolen. One of those rare moments where you have a pop rap song that has a strong dance beat behind it, one you could probably play in the club, but the aesthetic, the performance is very quiet. It's very subtle. It's very, very, very just like hushed. So they're trying to write this kind of super low-key, super nocturnal dance clubby pop rap song. And for the most part, they really pull it off. The instrumental is great. Groggs and Richie have some good vocal performances and flows on here too. Huge Pharrell and I guess I would say Nerd and Neptune's influence on this thing. Comes together really well. Really liking what they did with this track, and of course always excited to see what Injury Reserve is going to do next. At number 9, one of my favorite duets of the year has to be Alex Cameron with the song Stranger's Kiss featuring Angel Olsen. If you haven't heard Angel Olsen's album last year, please do. It's fantastic. But this is one of many great songs off of Alex Cameron's latest record, Forced Witness. Not many of the tracks on the record are like this one, though. A lot of these cuts add up into a really weird character portrait of a very sketchy individual, but for whatever reason we have this cut over here which stands out on the album as this moment of serene beauty, even if the lyrics of the track do tell a much darker story than the sound of the song does. At number 8, I picked one of the most memorable, most bold and thoughtful tracks I think this artist has ever released, and that has to be Jay-Z's The Story of O.J. This is one of many tracks on his new album where he sort of takes on the idea of poverty in the black community, kind of laying that at the foot of or illustrating its connection to generational wealth. There's been a lot of politically charged music, especially hip-hop in 2017, and Jay-Z is one of the few artists that I think approached it in song with a super high-level bird's eye view, and also tried to come at his listeners with not just problems but also solutions, and did that while simultaneously coming through with some of his best material. At number 7, shout out to Rina Sawayama with Cyber Stockholm Syndrome. Again, one of many tracks, like Poppy's Computer Boy, which addresses sort of love in the internet age. Love how glamorous the instrumental is here. Love her vocal melody on this thing. Like the lyrics quite a bit. Cyber Stockholm Syndrome. The whole vibe and aesthetic of the track feels like a throwback to a lot of the pop and R&B songs of the 2000s, but approached in a much more creative way. At number 6, it was kind of a difficult pick, because I feel like there were several singles on this album that it was a bit of a toss-up as far as like a favorite. I feel like I'm going to go with Kendrick Lamar's Humble. Huge single for me this year. Obviously one of the biggest singles of 2017. There are parts of me that are like, you know what, like go with Element. Element is a fantastic song. Love Element so much. Like so many of the moments on Element lyrically and instrumentally just kind of stick out to me a little bit more. And there's a part of me that's like, Humble's a little overplayed this year. So maybe like, down the road, once I kind of have a little bit more distance from it, I'll be able to appreciate it a little bit more. But at the end of the day, I think I am going to go with Humble, which is obviously one of the best pop rap tracks of the year. One of Kendrick Lamar's biggest and most popular songs, period. Really creative track. Love how he kind of approached a lot of these trap and pop rap trends in song in a way where he wrote a hit, he wrote a friggin' banger, but he kept it thoughtful. He kept it in such a way where it didn't feel like he was sort of selling himself short or cheapening his craft and just handing the listener garbage. And when you think about Kendrick's career in general, like that's what he's done most successfully. Written hip-hop music that has a high level of accessibility to it while also delivering a message or at least some, artistic and experimental quirks that put it outside the norm and way above the average. At number 5, a track that is going to stand out to me as one of the most chilling and soul-crushing tracks of the year, and that has to be Phil Elverum's Real Death from his new album, A Crow Looked at Me. A very sad and depressing lo-fi folk song, which is in his typical songwriting style. A lot of the sounds and aesthetics of his latest record kind of go back to an earlier project of his titled Dawn, an album that I'm happy to see is getting a bit more attention and shine after this album has been released. And he's talking about how dealing with such an intense thing, such a huge gargantuan loss, the mother of his child, sort of makes him see death differently. This is a topic that he has approached countless times in song in the past. And now that it's sort of real, it's a real thing, it's not just something to make art with. It's not just something to, just sort of see in the abstract. It is this real thing looking him in the face, changing the trajectory of his life, and essentially putting him in a state of severe suffering. And it's a unique moment in music where you can really just kind of hear what the artist is going through. It is translating so clearly through the recording, through the song itself, to the point where it's chilling, and at moments on this new album of his, it's almost too real. But that is a part of the strength of this new album of Phil's, and especially this new track. I had a similar experience with what sits at number 4 on this list, but instead of translating in a very real way this sense of death, we get a sense of dread over the socio-political landscape that we're currently staring in the face. It's very ugly, horrid, orange face at the moment, and that is the new Algiers single, The Underside of Power. Not only do I love the tune on this thing, recording and performance are excellent, but also I just kind of love the messaging of this track. Love that the band creatively fuses elements of rock and gospel and blues and punk on this thing. This track also features one of the catchiest, most passionate and roaring choruses I've heard this year too. And I just feel like Algiers is one of the sharpest and most creative bands doing it right now, and I'm just excited to hear them continuing to push forward. Because when it comes to underground music out there that has a strong political edge to it, there are a lot of bands out there that are sort of doing it with Algiers' flair and creativity, in my opinion. At number 3, Brockhampton with Keep a Gold Chain on My Neck. The Boys Are Here, one of my favorite rap singles of the year. I guess my favorite rap single of the year. My favorite pop rap single of the year. Great beat on this thing. Amazing little piano keys. Fantastic verses from each member of the group. Great energy, great vibe. Just everything that made Brockhampton special to me in 2017 brought down into one track, although one track cannot sort of fully explain the Brockhampton universe. They dropped 3 records this year, each one of them fantastic in its own way. Each year I pretty much do one single, one artist, and I just try to pick my favorite single from the artist so we can get everybody sort of in on the list. But listen, if I didn't do that way, this list would be littered with Brockhampton singles. Let me tell you that. It would be littered with them. At number 2, a slick, sensual pop ballad that to me says a lot about ego, maleness, bravado, from Kieran J. Callanan. Love the gutsy vocal performance on this track. Love the slick synth pop instrumental. Love the groove. Kieran is just such an accomplished and passionate vocalist, and every time I hear something new from him, his songwriting just gets better and better. This song is proof of that for me. Like, I could not stop playing the song this year. I could not get this song out of my head this year. It is just one of the stickiest tracks. Creative, colorful production on this thing. I could just talk about this song all day. Love it, love it, love it, love it, love it. And finally, at number 1, a track that to me exemplified 2017 in a lot of ways, because I feel like this year, outside of the musical realm, this year has been shit. And for me, if there's a song that really kind of spelled out why that was, kind of getting at the root of the human condition, that had to be the title track, the lead single from Father John Misty's latest record, Pure Comedy. To me, the song is just so 2017. It's so 2017. Because I feel like you couldn't really live through this year without reflecting on just how divided, just how ugly, just how awful things have gotten, not just at home but abroad. And I feel like on this track, Josh Tillman boils a lot of that down into this grand, showy, theatrical piano ballad with wonderful horn crescendos and lyrical shots at humanity and religion. Let it just be known, if there's ever some kind of missile strike that happens somewhere in my vicinity and I am lucky enough to see it coming, this will be the song rolling through my head as shit's about to go down and my final moments on this earth are being counted down. And those are my top 50 singles of the year, guys. Hope you enjoyed this list. Hope I made some good recommendations. Hopefully you got some artists out of this thing that you hadn't heard before and or you were sort of waiting to try out. And I don't know, you just give it a shot, you give it a listen, and that's it. Love you, love you, love you. Transition over here next to my head is another List Week video, that and a link to subscribe to the channel. I'll see you guys in the next one. Anthony Fantano, List Week, forever.